The true story that happened was literally on my first day in the office, our CFO comes in and says, hey, we're meeting with the auditors. We've got like 8, 9, maybe 10 weeks of cash left. Is that enough time to sell the company? And it was like one of those, oh my gosh moments, because it's a public company with a lot of, issues. There's no way we can sell this company in that period of time. And so, I think my entrepreneurial, energy just sort of like triggered, and it was like, okay, how do we solve this? Because I really didn't want to be the CEO of a bankrupt company. And
so you had a very short window. It could have been a very short tenure as CEO, right? But it hasn't been. How did you solve it? Like, I mean, I'm sure there were many things, but what were some of the key things that you had to do to ensure that you were still around in 10 weeks' time?
So listen, I think it's no different than any other problem, which is I think you've got to, if you can set the right goal, bring the right people around the table, catalyze the right energy and focus, any problem is solvable in my opinion. And we did that. I remember Brian, who's still our CFO today, I said, like, let's get everybody in the room tonight, and we need a cost savings plan that we can enact within 10 days.
Yep.
And at the same time, I need a meeting with these lenders to give us an extension, and we're going to convince the lenders on this extension because we're going to make these cost cuts, and so they can underwrite that as a way for us to finance those costs, extend the financing.
Yeah.
And then we just started getting to work.
Yeah.
I don't think we had the perfect plan, but I think it was a lot about just a ton of focus.
Yeah.
Which is our goal is to convince lenders to give us a little more time.
Yeah.
And get the business profitable as we can in a very short period of time, and remove every distraction, which was sell non-core assets, cut out all the business parts of the business that really, really didn't need as essential. And it was painful. I mean, we had to lay off 25% of the workforce within 10 days.
Yeah.
And, that's a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
Because many of those people have been there for decades. And so it's a horrendous thing to do. But in many ways, and I hate saying this because people's lives were impacted, but it was one of the best things we did because it set the culture of the company.
Yeah.
I remember the day we did it, the prior head of HR said, hey, I talked to the board, like, don't come to the office. And I said, like, what do you mean? It's my decision to make this decision. And she's like, well, you kind of look a little bit different than everybody else. You're a lot younger than everybody else. Like, this might not go over well. And, my commenter is like, listen, if I'm going to, treat people like kids, they're going to act like kids. If I treat my partners, they'll act like partners. And so I show up to the office and we make this change. And when we, I do a town hall at the end of the day, and back then everybody was in the office, and said, hey, like, we just disrupted the lives of 120 people, whatever the number was at the time. And they'll never forget that. They'll be insecure for the rest of their lives because today we made them all feel like they were not good enough.
Yep.
That's something you never get over.
Yep.
And I know what that's like. I know it's like from a household that's had financial insecurity. Like, we have really scarred a set of individuals. And the responsibility of that falls on only me and those sitting in the front row that get paid these really high salaries that did not make a business that succeed them. And all the blame goes to those folks and me.
Yeah.
And not those people that were fired.